Welcome everyone. You're stuck with me today because Artemis North is off being grandma while she's waiting for her granddaughter to be born, which apparently is supposed to happen today.
Awesome.
Yeah. Apparently today is either going to be natural or induced, one or the other. So this is the Creatives Coffee Hour on the Steam at Ramble, where people can come together to relax and enjoy a chat. How's everybody today?
Good.
Right.
Good day.
It is Monday. I noticed that. Who's been creative? Go ahead, Lenny.
I actually bought my first Steam just a moment ago.
You what?
I bought some Steam just a moment ago.
You bought some stain.
Yeah, I've never done that.
What are you going to be staining?
No, Steam, as in.
Oh, Steam!
Yeah.
I thought you had a project on that you were going to be staining something.
I heard stain as well.
You buy Steam as well?
So you've bought some Steam?
I did, actually. Yeah, I did. So that was a bit of a weird thing. So, yeah. So I thought I'd go easy. I just spent about like 100 Australian dollars, which only got me like 74 Steam.
Right.
From where. So yeah, I wonder. Sorry.
I was going to say you answered my question for me. I was wondering, where is that adorable accent from?
So who's this?
That's Bug.
It's Bug. It's Bug. Oh, okay. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. So strangely enough, it was a witness that got in contact with me and just said, "Buy Steam." I thought, well, I was going to, so I guess I will. So I just went and did that.
So you're now on the investor side.
I plan to be. I've got a lot of faith in the platform. So it's not going to be a lot, but I just wanted to have something in it. And I think my attitude will change once my own money's in it. Because at the moment, it's really just play for me. But, moving forward, I kind of want to be able to support, the creators that I want to support. So it's just over time.
Right. That's understandable. I kind of took the attitude once I actually learnt doing, earn some Steam through creating content. It got real at that point and got even more real the first time I had to withdraw some and turned it into real cash and purchased a iPad with it. And I went, yep, this is real. Very real.
Yeah, I haven't really got to that point, so it'll be interesting to see how my attitude changes. And I have to be honest, I had a conversation today about bots and whether to use them or not, so I'm still in two minds. And I guess I'd be curious to see what people's opinions are on this particular forum.
You mean the bid bots?
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's many kinds of bots on the platform.
We'll wait probably till you get into the program before we get into bots, because that can go on for a while.
Okay, let's just get on to the program. Sorry, I'm interjecting.
Well, we are into the program actually. So we're having the coffee chat. I didn't do quite the formal introduction that Artemis does, but that's okay. That's me. And hopefully by the time we end it, we won't be ending it on the same note that we ended the last one on. So nobody is mentioning JB during this conversation. Just to lay the groundwork.
JB?
Jerry Banfield.
Jim Beam.
Oh. What happened with him?
You can do Jim Beam if you want to, no problem.
Did Jerry explode or something? Why is he off topic?
The last time I hosted this show for Artemis, the topic that was going on was some of Jerry's disclosures of his proclivities, and the conversation just sort of went downhill from there. So we're not going there this time.
The missing rib.
But I'm actually curious. I never understood why people were so mean to him, to be honest.
Well, let's see. We start off with he's a scam artist, and it goes downhill from there.
On and off the platform.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I never saw that side. To me, he's just a name. And I used to read some of the comments, and it used to be, I must admit, someone that doesn't know anything about it, when you kind of just read the comments, it's actually quite upsetting. That's my experience. I felt like it was a bit, it, for me, not knowing the background, it just seemed like online bullying to me at the time, I remember. So yeah, like I said, I don't know the crypto personalities or anything, but there seemed to be a lot of hate for him, so I never got it.
Well, if you go to Google and you do a search on that name, you'll find that not only, like on Steam, it's been pretty mild. Uh, he's managed to make himself persona non gratis on several platforms.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I will do that once I have a moment. I'm supposed to be doing work. I'm talking too much to you guys. I'll just get back to work, okay?
What are you supposed to be working at?
He's not that interesting.
Sorry?
That Jerry guy, he's not that interesting to go Googling and searching him and stuff like that.
I agree with that. I think it's not that interesting. but by the way, I'm still carrying the nasty cold, and I came back from 3-4 days in nature of Greek without internet, and of course, Breeze bathed in freezing ponds up in the Pyrenees. And when I say freezing, I mean freezing. So whether I die of pneumonia, whether I get rid of the cold.
So, what were you doing out in nature? Were you doing some filming or just getting away from the heat?
Well, it's actually really insanely hot here, and as you know, the heat weather does very bad for my health. But I had a very good friend to visit me from Barcelona, so we decided to meet halfway through, and we got lost up in the mountains. And I really didn't film. We took plenty of pictures, but it was nice because we had no reception, no phones, no anything, nothing but the stars and the mountains. I'm going to spam you with some pictures from my phone, which are crappy, but I hope to have proper pictures soon. So I came back and I'm still catching up with all the things that I have been missing and all the posts. I uploaded one that I want to share if you don't mind later on. But I don't find the energy to take the pictures and really write an entry about it. But it was really a great time. And now I'm here at the studio again, sweating, thinking about ice cream again.
I'm thinking how nice it would be back up there in one of those cold ponds.
You can bet.
Is Hector even allowed to hold a camera anymore when you're swimming and stuff?
Yeah, there was I'm going to say this, and I know that the program is going to be recorded, but let's raise the stakes. There was a lot of nipples.
Oh, you're moving on, eh?
I'm moving on because
moving on up.
Yeah, you get into the water, and it was really, really cold. So just like guns. There is no way to conceal that, and it was really embarrassing because we were with friends, and I don't have now to edit all the pictures, so I don't have to tag them non-safe for work.
Yeah, I'm just killing myself laughing. You were so funny.
So he was taking pictures, and you weren't exactly prepared for the pictures that he was taking. Does that sound about right, Yednith?
Can you repeat again?
I said he was taking pictures, and you weren't quite prepared for him taking them.
No, this time I really didn't care. Just no, I think the Baka Q is referring to the time where I handed my phone, because at this time I was wearing my fairy garments and all, transparent and all that is, but I was fair enough. But some weeks ago, I think I told you that my boyfriend took a very unfortunate picture of me in a bikini, and by accident forwarded to all my contacts in my phone, and that is what the bug IQ is referring to. That Hector if he's allowed to take pictures. Because it was really, I was never so self-conscious of my body and my booty. But yeah, it was really an unfortunate accident, and because it was forwarded to actually people that I don't know very well, and I had to send a batch of apologies of my apologies. Well, it's a good place to take a bath, but you know. So I'm going to release the microphone, and that's it. I'm going to boil some coffee because it's a coffee hour.
Sounds like a plan. Andy, are you still with us? Andy,
Yeah, yes, I'm here.
what you been working on?
Give me a minute and I'll come back. I've just got something going on.
Oh, she's got something going on. Dear Monday, nobody likes you. Sorry if that hurt your feelings. That's a very Canadian comment there, Yidneth. The Sai does it. There we go, dear Monday. Nobody likes you. So Artemis did send me some stuff that she'd collected up. So of course I won't have the explanations that she has. What do we got
There
here?
was. Yeah, there was. I have some kind of crafty post if you allow me to share, but I don't want to take more time now, so we'll just go on, and whenever it's the time that you think it's fit to present it, I think today it's kind of crafty.
Well, you go right ahead, Yidneth, because Andy's off doing something and she's got something, so you jump right in there.
So let me grab the link.
Okay. Yeah, Kitty Girl, Discord does seem to be doing a lot of updates in the last week or so. Hopefully they're for the better. Yeah, we've got a link coming. Hi, Free Tissues. Welcome aboard. Here we go.
Yeah, that's it. So actually, is an entry. I made it just right in time because I came back from my hike, and the deadline was like now. And it's a song and it's a video clip, but I share a lot of the making of and how I made the dress myself. I'm really not very good at sewing, so it implies a lot of hot glue guns, and I purchased some undies, and then with the hot glue gun I started to cut the fabrics in the shape of leaves, and attaching all the parts with a hot glue gun until it becomes really hard as an armor. And then the skirts and the flowing, they are just like handkerchiefs, just like squares over squares. So they're very easy to do. It's just like you cut a square of fabric and you put a hole in the waist, and then you make several squares of different sizes. You have like a fairy pixie skirt. And just because I'm not very good at sewing, I was really very proud about how the garment turned out to be. I think it had, it's the most complex I've ever done, even if it's simple, and it has not very, it has not much sewing, but I felt really proud of it. And I made my own makeup and my own dress, and the only thing that I didn't do myself were the big wings I wear at the video at the end, but I designed them. So it was another company that made the wings, but I made the drawing for the wings to be made. So there is a lot of DIY in this particular one, and well, you can watch the video, and I think it was elegant. It implied also lots of floating in ponds. Actually, I was floating in a pond of water, also very cold, from 5 until past midnight. And because it was very dark, I had to swim my way back under the full moon, because I wouldn't dare to hike the cliffs in complete darkness. So I just put my rucksack in my pack and I swam downriver with a friend under the moonlight, which was really weird. But that's it. And lots of glitter and a wind machine, and you can never ever get rid of the glitter, ever.
So you're attached to that glitter whether you like it or not?
Yeah, I think a couple of years after I made it, I stumbled upon glitter from that video clip. I mean, it's insane. And if you use a wind machine to make it go everywhere, yeah. If you hate somebody, give them glitter.
Yeah, we rent a hall out at the local branch, and there's 2 items that we do not want to see in the hall, and we will charge people extra money if they use. One is glitter, and the other was confetti.
Yeah, here we had to use glitter in the water to make the particles, and with the makeup and with a wind machine.
Right.
And I don't know, the song is really very simple. It barely has 2 chords. But I really like what it's based upon, because it's about lucid dreaming. I don't know if you know what is lucid dreaming. Is those kind of dreams where you are in control of what you can dream, and you can shape what you can dream. So most of those dreams you can fly, or you can go everywhere you please because you are aware you're dreaming, and that's basically the feeling that I want to convey in the video clip and the song. Because actually, it's at the end it's a music post, but this time I felt, there is a little bit of DIY that I can share in this one.
Very nice. I'm letting the video run without sound while you're talking, and yeah, it's pretty cool.
Glitter tastes bad.
Glitter tastes bad? Yeah, I've never tried to eat it. Why would you?
I didn't mean to.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't like you stuck your finger in it and said, "What's this like?"
Nope.
Oh, okay. Good. I would have thought you kind of strange had you done that. Yidna thinks she's inhaled it a lot.
You already think I'm kind of strange. What difference does it make now?
Well, where'd you get that idea? I'll tell you if I think you're strange. No uncertain terms.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yep. Glitter is cooked with Jareth the Goblin King and Labyrinth. Other than that is Nessie. Or Messy, I should say. Yeah, it is messy. No 2 ways about that. Very nice. Thank you, Yidneth. So, Bug, what have you been up to?
Oh, you know me, registering accounts like a madman and having fun, posting on my new accounts and all kinds of stuff.
So have you been being creative?
Yeah, I've been slowly developing Steam Pets. It's not easy getting something off the ground, as you well know, on the blockchain. But what's interesting to me is Steam Pets seems to be catching fire slowly on its own. Like it felt kind of forced with Planktown, because I kept having to explain what Planktown was, and then people would get excited about it. But Steam Pets, it's pretty self-explanatory. You pay for a pet, you get a pet, and we're going to try and animate them in the future and connect it to a fitness app. So you take your pet for a walk, and achievements and awards, and 3D worlds. We want to, get people dune buggy racing in there with their Steam Pets and their Steam Peeps, which I actually got that account too, Steam Peeps. Can you believe at Vocals was available? So, look, if Yidneth and I want to teach vocal lessons to people, you can post it under Vocals or your own account, doesn't matter. Just, just kind of thinking, there it is. What's her name, Kitty?
I haven't come up with one yet.
If you don't mind, Shadows, I just want to ask Kitty something while we're on the phone here. Kitty, I figured out how to post to Instagram within Chrome, if you know how to do that, I was going to do a post on it. Maybe you could add it to your arsenal of useful things, because I'm telling you what, posting to Instagram from Chrome or just from any browser, like knowing how to do it, is an absolute dream come true.
I do not use Chrome,
Doesn't matter which browser.
when I use Instagram, I used to use Instagram a long time ago before Steemit came along, and I just did it on my phone with their app. But then they changed Instagram around a lot, and I got fed up with it and don't use it anymore.
Yeah, I'm on Steepshot now. My new photo blog that I'm just keeping separate from everything else is iShot.
Yeah, I use Steepshot too, but I just use it on the browser. Okay, I'll look for your account there. Thanks.
So
Yeah,
you
anyway,
haven't,
I don't
so
know if
you haven't named your Steam pet Kitty Girl?
No, I haven't yet. Bug suggested I do a contest, and I haven't done that yet.
Well, you were onto something with the tutu, because you were saying she's too cute. Like Tutu Cutie is kind of cute. I don't know.
Were you leaning
Tutu
towards anything?
Cute, or maybe Tutu Tilly. I don't know.
So you haven't got a favorite that you're leaning towards yet?
Not just yet, no.
Tutu Tuscadero.
It's a mixture, that's for sure. She's too cute.
Bug IQ, this is Lenny. I actually heard about Steam Pets today. Well, I saw it, that is. And I knew nothing about it, just so you know. So it must be spreading.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Slowly. There's someone on the platform here. It's Mary J99, MEREJ. It looks like I call it Mary J, but her name's Meredith. And we connected, and I think she's going to help me develop the website. Shadows is really good with WordPress and stuff, but she doesn't. She has, I don't know, about as much time as a woodpecker with a half a beak and one leg. So she's probably gonna, I don't know, it just doesn't even make sense. Doesn't matter. She's busy. Mary J, I know she was going to call me on that right away, so I'm just making shit up as I go. But Mary is going to help me develop the website, which is Steam Worlds, which I have. I have the account Steam Worlds, but I was finally able to get a .com, steamworlds.com, because I tell you, someone went out there and bought like 1.5 million websites with the word Steam attached to it. Like, you almost can't find one. Like, if you, like, I'll bet you anything, like Steam beer is taken, Steam wine is probably taken. Almost everything is taken. So steamworlds.com will be the housing, the focal point for all the other accounts that I have related to Steam Pets and that whole venture. So I also have, I have Steam Pets, I have Steam Peeps, I have Steam Wars, I have Steam Race, I have Steam Fights. You know, if people want to armor up their pet and do battle eventually, hopefully not against each other, just in like 3D roles. Like Mary J has the most beautiful ferret. I'll go get a picture of it unless somebody has it handy, so I don't have to go run and find it. It's a little ferret with a bow and arrows on its back and a cape. Oh my gosh, Darosnek did an unbelievable job on that. But her ferret, she calls like a thieving varmint, you know, like, because it's based on a real life. Her name is Evie, which is based on a real life ferret that she had that passed away a long time ago. So it would be amazing if we could have a little 3D world game for Evie that she could go through and she has to steal stuff as a ferret. Like, that's her game, you know?
So, Free Tissues, can you come on voice? Or have you tried voice yet? I'm curious what you're going to do with Steam Kitchen.
Hi guys, sorry my voice is actually quite bad because of internet here from South Africa, so I don't know, how are you hearing me?
I can hear you. So what are you going to do with Steam Kitchen?
Oh, that's good. Steam Kitchen is actually running already. It's I've put together basically for the foodies and the recipe and amateur chefs, guys that are posting recipes and food related blogs.
Ah, so you're actually going to talk about stuff that's done in the kitchen.
No.
So Artemis sent me some pictures to share with you guys. We'll start with this one because I think it's kind of cool. It's made with straws. That's one way of putting things to work. So I'll share that one over there.
It's literally a straw man.
Literally. You want to give me the straw man argument? There it is.
You should make a meme out of that.
Well, it's there. And this is a bird feeder that looks like it's been made out of a big pop bottle.
Looks like it has a cute little butt.
It does, actually.
Yeah, it's been designed into one, that's for sure.
Nice pop buns.
Oh dear, I've got a piece of software opening I didn't want opening.
Oh, I hate that when it's a huge program too, like Photoshop or something. I'm like,
This
oh
is
my
close.
God, quit.
It's Paint Shop Pro.
Yeah, if we lose you, we'll wait. We know what happened.
Yeah, well, considering I already have a few other programs open, that one is not one I need open at the moment.
We'll speak amongst ourselves if you're gone for 5 minutes.
So, these look like flowers made out of either pop or beer bottle caps. Probably beer bottle caps. So the petals seem to be made out of caps. I don't know where she finds some of this stuff. And this one,
Those are quite cute.
Where does she get this stuff?
what's that, Jan?
Where does she get the time?
Well, she does seem to find some. Of course, she's another one that doesn't know enough to go to bed at night. So this kind of screen, visor, whatever, is made out of bottle caps. Nothing like
What
doing
is it?
Well, you could put it in a doorway. You could, it's kind of a divider. I wouldn't exactly call them a door. To me, when
I don't know.
things like that are in a doorway, they're a pain. What's that, Lenny?
It looks like it'll hurt you if you walk through that thing. Is it like one of those door screens?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty.
Yeah, it's made out of
I wouldn't walk through it.
Yeah, me either.
It looks like a big wind chime.
That's
It
probably
does.
a more effective use for it.
I think so.
And this is cardboard circle weaving.
Oh, that could be fun for my kids.
Yeah.
One of my daughters would love to do that, actually.
Simple, basic materials. I'm actually going to have to ask her to start getting bigger pictures because they'll show up better when I share them. And this one here, it says made with old CDs.
Oh, that's cool.
It is.
So this is something you did, Shadow.
No, this is stuff that Artemis has found. She goes on a little treasure hunt before the Creatives Coffee Hour and finds what she thinks is neat projects that people have done.
Oh, that's lovely.
Oh, I'm not
So
that
I like-
creative.
No, I love a whimsy garden, so anything that kind of gives that effect, I really love. Yeah.
And of course, she really loves it, stuff like CDs and that are being taken and used for something creative rather than just tossed in the landfill.
Exactly. Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Just looking at one of your drawings here, Lenny, your Dragonborn. That's pretty cool. Maybe we should talk about having you brush off your artist skills and helping out with Steam Battle Pets down the road. Draw some.
Oh wow! I'm really flattered that you even think I can do it, but it's something I'm still working on, and I don't know whether you guys remember, but I think the first time I did drawings was when I actually came. I came to this show, and felt really encouraged. Yeah, I'm still working on it, Bug. So I'm
Well,
still practicing.
So
I
this
have one other person who's doing a
this
short
picture
part,
here
too.
is made with old keys.
What's that? The keys? Oh wow,
Keys.
that's cool.
Yeah.
You can make Christmas decorations with that for your garden with keys.
Well,
You know, like
somebody has
they
to
look like
use them for
baubles.
something.
Oh, that's cute. I like that. It's very cute.
And this one, she says, is titled OCD, Old CD, not OCD, Mosaics.
Yeah, that's actually better than smashing plates.
Yeah.
Well, I always think smashing plates because, I mean, where am I going to get all the bits and pieces to get that mosaic effect? So,
Yidna says, that's what people do with CDs now.
yeah, I know. Good.
Do many people even have CD players anymore?
I don't.
I do.
Yeah, I don't
I
have
do.
one.
Yeah, everything is YouTube and iPhones and iPads because that's all I listen to now. Oh, what's that? Oh, that's
Teddy
cute.
bear art.
Well, I have to
Cute
say
in
yeah,
kind of
just want to,
scary way.
What's that, Yidna?
no, I just wanted to say that somehow it's a little bit sad, because for example, you know that I'm an illustrator, so for me, my physical CDs were never about the music alone, but were about to have a book with all the artwork, all the lyrics, all the poems, and all the booklets. And in fact, I've been working for a couple of years in the new one that actually has 70 pages. And that is something that you can't get on stream, because it's meant to, to enjoy the music with the artworks, with the drawings, with reading the lyrics, just like you read a book. And the format, the CD or the USB pad, whatever, it is really not that important, but because of music being only streamed, the projects that have been just like multidisciplinary, just like with art or conceptual albums, all of that is kind of lost in the lands of the streaming for free, because Spotify really doesn't pay artists fairly, and it's really complicated. I have been delaying the release of my third album for 3-4 years, and I don't know what to do, because I'm aware that if I made a CD, I'm going to have lots of pretty boxes in my corridor, and I really welcome the brainstorming. I don't know what to do. I'm just trying to finish the artwork, and I don't know.
So have you, like, you've got the music and you've so you're not sure whether you want to put that online? Is that what you're saying, or?
I don't want to put it online without the physical book that it goes along. That's the point of releasing a physical CD or a physical album or a physical book with music, just like the previous one. I mean, for example, I know that many people go and download The Under Living or listen to The Under Living on Spotify, but The Under Living was always a book of drawings and poetry with music, and people is only getting, like, I would say 1/3 of the equation when they go and just listen to the streaming and not get the physical thing. And what I'm doing.
But how about when you have could you not put the imagery and everything in the video? Would that not work?
Actually, it's a book, and it takes me years and years to do it, and all the streaming, even if I put it on free on a video or anything, what I'm saying is that the streaming is not paying the artist back in any way. way. So I make spend like 20,000 euros and not make any dime back from streaming or digital media at all. Uh, if I sell a single book, it means like 1,000 people are listening to my music on Spotify. That's how unfair it is. So we artists are trying to struggle with the formula, but the thing is just like that everything going on a stream and just free on internet has killed not the big artists because they can still go and fill the stadium and do big concerts, but all the small independent musicians that were trying to do like little pieces of art or trying to do special editions of things. We are all down for good, not knowing what to do. And the truth is, my third CD has been ready to go out for a couple of years now, but I don't know what to do.
Oh, okay. So, I mean, I can only explain from my point of view because I'm a consumer. And for me, the streaming, a lot of it now it's because, for example, I listen to music when I run. You know what I mean? Like, I need it to be in a form that I can carry. So it's not like I can carry a CD around
But
with
for
me.
example, Spotify pays I think it's around $200 per 1 million plays. Can you imagine that? Just like
Yeah.
it's not the formula for us anymore. That's why many independent artists are ending up in crypto and such. But actually, people has gone used to think that the music now is free because those services are offering a huge catalog, but they're not paying the artists. So we're stuck in here not knowing what to do.
But you know what though? If you offered, and I don't know whether it works for music, but if you offered a few of your key pieces for free on these
But
sites,
but
and
I
then
do. I do offer 2/3 of my music for free already.
and people don't go to your site to download the other pieces as in they pay you directly, for example? Because I would, if I really loved your music, I would go to your site and download.
Well, I get people that really support me and really buy the physical album, and because it's a collector's item, and as I say, I'm an illustrator. For me, it's a book. It's not a CD of music. It's another kind of product that I'm selling. Yeah, but there are people that buy legally, but why would you buy legally if you can even find it on YouTube of people uploading your whole CD for free, and you have to just like strike them down every time, or you go to a torrent site and you're going to find it complete. I mean, people is used now not to pay for music anymore, and the thing is just like a big artist, they're going to sell tickets for big concerts, but the small artists will depend on selling our CDs legally to be able to not to earn money, because I made money from my music for a decade, and I'm aware that I'm not going to reach that point back. I mean, it's sad. I've talked about this with many musicians. It's sad, but there is no way we can do at the current situation. But at least to fund the next release, that we don't have to spend our money and our savings to fund the project people are really not paying back.
So you've actually got two products that you need to market, even though they're related. One is your music and the album, and the other one is the book of the related art. Am I understanding you correctly?
Yeah, but for me, it's the same thing. I mean, I make illustrated music books, so that's the point.
For you, it's the same thing because they're intertwined. But the reality is, from a business standpoint, there are two different types of marketing. One, you want people to get the book and to thumb through it and to handle it. And the other one is a question of how they're going to receive it, to hear it. Whether it's going to be something that they can go out jogging with, or whether they're going to sit down, listen to it, and go through your book. That doesn't really matter for you as the seller. You just want them to get in touch with it. Correct?
Yeah. I mean, it's really complicated because they're meant to go together. I mean, in my case.
Yes, but
and
Yusnith, I guess Yusnith, with when you keep saying that they're meant to go together, again, I can only relate from my point of view and how I consume music and art at the same time. And I don't know whether it just doesn't work for you, but if you're able to make it into, the book that you have, if you're able to have the book in a form of a video, whether it's just you turning the pages or something. I don't know how you do it, the animation or whatever it is.
But yet again, I mean, I can spend 2 years drawing and painting for a book. If I put entirely on a video, no one is going to buy it. And for me, selling one physical book worth more in money than 3,000 people watching it for free. I mean, that's the truth, because I have to pay for the manufacture of that book, and I have to pay from my savings, and that's fiat real money. That
But
is
maybe
not.
what it is but maybe what it is it's you selling the book, like what Shadow said. So it really is a book. Like for me, it's not the music and there's a book accompanying it. It's actually the book with the CD accompanying it. To me, that's a very different purchase for me. If I knew I was buying a book and there's music accompanying it, for me, I'd see the book as being the key thing that I'm buying it for, and the music comes with it. But if you plug the music and the book is just an accompaniment, then I see the music as being the main thing. I guess you have to decide which is your key focus. At least that's what I think off the fly, just listening to you.
I'm just going to jump in here and first of all disagree with quite a few things, if you don't mind. That's just my perspective. Yidnith is selling a package that goes together. It's wrapped up in her life. And what I think you need to do, Yidnith, and I think I'm speaking to this as someone who does this full-time. Music is my only paycheck that puts steaks in the freezer. So my view is that you need a Patreon page that's locked so that you develop just a small, super loyal following. You may have Patreon already. I think you do. But just have locked, privileged content. So behind the scenes footage of some of your photo shoots for your fans, other things that are perks. And I just feel that developing that Patreon page could be valuable. And we could talk more about that off the show because it's a long discussion.
It could be valuable from a marketing standpoint, but if she wants to get...
I have a Patreon page, but I made the test of not announcing my Patreon page to see how they have the traffic within their own platform. And I think that one single person found it. And I've been just keeping updated, just an experiment. But the thing is just like, which is the difference of doing a Patreon website if they don't have really their own traffic in their own website, rather than doing my BIP section on my page just like I used to. Actually,
that's the next part of what I was going to say.
Well, Patreon does have traffic, but the question is whether it's traffic that's going to draw towards your own, and if it's worthwhile keeping up both that and your own website. That's the question.
Yeah, you're right. It's what I was going to say is Patreon is not enough traffic on its own. You use YouTube and your other social platforms to drive your loyal fans to Patreon who are supporting you, and YouTube, after the adpocalypse and all that, it's not really paying creators very much anymore. You just use those YouTube videos and other social media platforms as teasers to send people to your Patreon page, and they're getting real value when they're one of your Patreons, $5-10 a month, and they're getting perks that they absolutely love. Those are the people that you start unraveling the rest of your gifts for.
And that works great for the behind the scenes footage and the music. But does that actually get you the market for the book that you want to sell, or does it matter that much to you to sell the book?
Sorry, I was eating. Just give me a second.
Yep.
Well, with the Underliving, I want to just show the numbers. I had just a small publishing company, and The Ancient Shadows released in 2006. They both have a special format. So when you do a special format, you have to do a minimum amount. It's not like you go and press me 100 CDs. They're not going to do that because you have a special format. and special specifications, and the minimum amount is going to be from 1,000 to 5,000 units. So that to start with, and I'm meaning physical units. So with my first CD, I was able to sold out and actually reprint, and I ate for a couple of years for my first CD. With the second, it's actually a book. It is a very big packaging. It was really very expensive per unit. And it didn't work because it was just like this transition from the physical copies to the digital streaming. But the point is that even today, when people don't buy CDs anymore, I make more money from selling the few scarce physical copies than actually all the revenues that iTunes, Spotify, and so on send to me. That is the truth. Because when I sell a $15 or $20 CD, I'm getting that in my pocket. And with all those platforms, I mean, you know, the amount that they are paying to the artists for those streams is so absolutely low that, you know, people are really, you know, musicians are thinking, okay, should we take out the possibility of a streaming, because this is just like you're making bread and you're spending your savings into doing something, because even recording without a physical copy costs money. And musicians at this moment, they are paying to put their music for free on the internet for you to run and jog. So if you can go and buy something that actually gives them the money, it is not about that you actually listen to the CD, because probably people are, you know, getting that from torrent anyway. It is about telling them that you care enough, especially to a small artist, that they keep on going to do their next project. And we have ground, and I hope this doesn't go to books with ebooks and such, but we have to be aware that when we do these practices and we help these platforms to abuse the artists the way they're doing, that the small artists, I'm not giving up, but I've seen quite a lot of my friends after many years giving up, because very short term there's, you know, unless people support us, there's really nothing that we can do.
Well, having seen the caliber of your art that you've demonstrated in the various posts that you've done, I can well understand that when you're going to share your art with the world, that it really does need to be in a book, not an ebook, a book. Would CreateSpace that Amazon have meet your needs on distribution, where the format is up there and it's printed as it's ordered?
But yet again, for small books, Amazon, they have like on print demand, but they don't have our special formats. I mean, for The End of Living, for example, that is a book.
So
I have to pay.
It won't meet your needs.
No. And they actually get a high percentage of it. So I think it's as high as 50%. So it's really not, you know, if you want to sell a book that you write and they do just like a short press of the book with not many illustrations, it's like cheap soft cover copies and such. It could be a formula for new writers to do so, you know, but for certain kind of products that require special kind of paper, or, you know, engraved things, or, you know, that they're kind of conceptual things and they have their own, you know, you need to order to a factory to make it done the way it needs to be done. And let's face it, I spent, you know, I was lucky enough to be a musician earning from my life. I think we can make a life from performing if you're the kind of performing artist, but not from selling really our music anymore. Not at this moment. And I don't want to sound discouraged. I don't want to take the show because I'm really not going to give up. I mean, I'm going to go on no matter what. But when I call out about these things, is about the unfairness of it, that the people need to really start to support, even if it's through Patreon, like the BackIQ say, or whatever, you know, the artists actually are making calls for them to be supported, even opening Steemit pages and earning crypto, you know, in many ways. And that's it.
I wouldn't even take the take what I'm proposing is the concept of Patreon as well. I don't, if Patreon doesn't work for you, I'm suggesting that you find a way to have locked content that you have for a devoted fan base that you release that to on a monthly basis or every 2 weeks. There are many tools on the platform that allow you, or not on the platform, but on the internet that allow you to lock your content, your videos, and you send people a code that they can watch it. They can't download it, or they can. It's up to you. And I think that those tools can work, especially in your situation. For me, I agree with you. I've never made any money online, and with my music, it's all selling CDs in person when I perform. And I mean, that's kind of just the way it is. I mean, people will take the path of least resistance, and if they can get something next to free, they're not going to turn around and say, you know, why would I go and pay more money when I can get it for this, right? It's a money thing, and it's unfortunate, but it's the way it is.
Yeah, she could certainly set up. Just a minute. She could certainly set up a WordPress site with a membership subscription service on it. That as music is released, the subscribers can get access to it, and nobody else. That's certainly a possibility. It doesn't solve the problem that she's got as far as the book though, and getting it out in a way that is effective. Go ahead, Lenny.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I guess, sorry, who was the gentleman that was talking just a moment ago?
The Bug IQ.
Oh, Bug. So it's you, sorry. I guess, do you know of examples where locking content away has helped? Because I feel like with today's society, it's just how we are now, right? Yes, people would choose the path of least resistance, but do you think locking things off will actually work? Because I feel like that would turn people away, and then you lose an opportunity.
I would say yes and no. So, for example, there's a couple that I watch on YouTube, and they're called Kombi Life with a K, Kombi, and they've had a very successful YouTube channel. They have a lot of subscribers, so we are talking kind of going from strength to strength. So they've decided recently, within the last 6 months or so, to start rewarding their Patreon viewers with special videos. The way that they're kind of kicking YouTube in the snuggies is they're just putting up teasers now, and they're driving people to their Patreon site on them. Their level of quality for production, with both of them going at it high, and everything them acting and editing, and their videos are just great. So they've developed a really good following on other social platforms, and Yidnith has been banging away at this stuff for a long time. And I think that there is room for where you're giving people a good amount of content that it keeps them interested in you, but then they want to know more about you. It's like getting a backstage pass to go see Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis and hang out for a coffee. Like, everyone be interested in more content with people they like.
Basically, what's been happening as these industries become more disrupted, and that's what it is. It's a disruption of the music industry, the publishing industry, the media, the other mainstream medias, is they have to take on more online marketing. And the reality is that in online marketing, when you're giving some product away, you're going to get two types of people. You're going to get the people that are going to take a look at the free material and decide whether they agree that it's good quality content and they're willing to continue to pay to get the rest of that content. Or you're going to get the ones that are going to take the freebies and move on to the next freebie. The ones that are going to take the freebie and move on to the next freebie, they're locked out anyways. It doesn't matter. You could be giving it away from now until the cows come home. The artist makes nothing and never will from those people. That's just the way the reality is. So yeah, there's an element that by locking some of the content away, that are not, they're just going to go away. But there's also an element that are going to appreciate the fact that the artist, just like anybody else, has got to make $1, and they're going to be willing to pay. Question is, how much are they going to be willing to pay?
I also think, Yidness, because to be honest, I mean, this is the first time I had someone explain it to me, really. I mean, we kind of know it, but no one's actually explained and talked through it, how it affects them. So I think, part of what you do, you can also, share that with people as well as part of, do you do that with your website? Do you talk about this stuff in videos or whatever?
We all artists do. We've been doing for a long time. Yeah, that's why I'm here on the stream. I think it's in my introduction post. It's like opening windows because we are facing these, and we have been facing. I'm not complaining. I know that I'm living through a time of change, and I hope that I'm one of the artists that actually endure the change. But I've seen many of my friends giving up already. I mean, and I come from the time where I could live from my music, and I'm not talking about big success and a big life. I mean, to have a salary and to have a roof on my head. Just creating because it's my job. Actually, what do you work for? Do you want to be paid for your work? We are the same. So we can't give away everything for free and expect that people throw us a dime. Especially in a time where people don't throw at a dime. We're just like people playing in the streets and people just walking by.
You know what it is though. I think also there's a lot of content out there now. So
yeah, but the problem is that it's a kind of resistant. Good quality content is going to die if it doesn't get support, because artists are not going to be able to create quality content if if we spend another decade without any kind of support to it. And the thing is, just like because of the abuse, the royalty agencies and everything, and those copyright ID tracks and all those automatic things are going to go nuts and fall on us, even preying on us artists. I mean, I upload my music to YouTube, and it says this content is copyrighted to Priscilla Hernandez, and I have to fight every single video to prove that I'm myself. And it's going to get worse until we have abused the system so much that it's going to be back to everything is for, everything is going to be paid content again. I mean that you can't abuse something until you break it. I mean, I think, we have to give things for free, of course. But if everything is abused to the point, that the artist has to stop, because I have to pay for my software, I have to pay for my studio, I have to pay for my musicians to do the music, I have to pay for the manufacturer of the CD, and that is coming from my money, from my job, that is not giving me money back. So why should I keep on doing it? For love of art? So the same way that I have been doing this for 20 years, it's not that I'm negative. Of course not. I'm here. I'm fighting. But I understand that this is going to get just a game of a few. Of the newbies that are enthusiastic and have grown in these generations and just do their loops and quick music with plugins and loops and things that really doesn't cost that much. But actually the quality content is going to die if it is not supported. And that's the truth, I think.
Yeah, I just wanted to say though, because I have seen some of your artwork, and I think they're beautiful, right? So that's why I kind of mentioned about the focus on the music or the focus on the book. So for me, I guess I'm just letting you know what I would buy, like what I would actually pay for in terms of like what would catch my interest. So with your stuff, for example, if you were going to, like, you obviously love this book that accompanies the music and it's all kind of intertwined, right? But if you're able to make that book like really stand out and somehow market in the way that it really, intrigues a person, right? Like, I'd pay for the book. And I wouldn't want an art book to be in any electronic form, just so you know. Like, if it's about, if it's really about the art, I'd actually buy the hard copy. So you don't really have a loss in that, as far as I can see. So if you're able to do that, and also for me, if you're able to sell your art in some ways, because I know I will actually still buy paintings and I'd still buy prints, for example. If you're able to do that to get an audience, I mean, is that stuff that you would consider? Is that stuff you're doing already, just to so that people know about your art? And if they know about your art and they know about what you do, then they're interested in your music once they know about your music as well.
I have been in universities giving conferences about my artwork along with other fellow illustrators. I have toured the United States. I have lived a time where I had a little name within my genre, and even people that have really had, not me, but really people that had a name as an illustrator and as an artist, they're facing the same things. And there is another kind of editorial publishing companies that actually don't pay the artists, and which is another story, which is even as harsh as music itself. But in my case, we choose what we want to be. I make illustrated music books. I mean, for me, it's kind of a soundtrack of a movie, and I don't sell like the radio track, the audio track of a podcast, and then the silent movie. This is what I do. This is what my name have been built upon, and I still have just like a few people that still support that, and I still have to believe that is worth fighting for, and I'm going to find a way to make it the way I want it to be, because why should I create something that is not what I want to create? If not, I would do what my partners and friends have done. I would live it that way, you know. So I know that it's not going to be a majority thing. I know that I'm not going to get rid of it. I expect that I'm not going to live from it, but I just hope for it to be, you know, to fund the next step, and not to fund the next step in a way that I have to pay from my pockets and lose my house, just like the way I left. You know, this all happens. Because you want to keep on giving without receiving. And I don't want to sound negative, because this happens with every art field. But I just, you know, sorry for spoiling the whole show. Oh my God.
Well, no, it's a coffee hour and we're having a conversation about creatives. So you haven't spoiled the show.
So it is not about music. I want to extend it to any creative. You know, that we have to think the art is made by an artist, and the artist is a person, and that person actually creates, and even their time is something they're gifting to you. So we have to face every day, do it as a hobby. It is not our hobby. It is our work and our job. And this is what we chose to be. And it's very difficult, and it's very struggling. And we don't want pity. We want something that is fair for everyone. But the problem is that we are breaking it. I mean, it's just like when you feel like something is breaking, and people that is not you, but actually other entities are going to take control of the situation and make it worse for ourselves as an artist, because you know, all those royalties agencies, and I think they overdue in protection. But that is going to happen. I mean, everything, you know, we're going to break it somehow. And I think it's sweet to think and trust that people will understand if we voice it like I have done today, that some of them will understand. You know, some people have, okay, Pris, I'm going to support you. That's why, you know. And we keep on being close and being present and being everywhere, just like, so people can understand why we do things and why they should keep on supporting us. And I don't want to take more time. I'm going to boil my coffee, and I'm going to move you on to some crafts needlework. Just like, enough of doom and gloom already. I'm going to, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make some music.
Sounds like a plan. Make some music. And actually...
Well, if I may.
Actually, we are at the end of the hour, so I will close it out at this point. I want to thank everybody for coming, and I'm sure that Artemis North is also thanking you in her thoughts as she does her grandmother duties while waiting for her next grandchild to be born. So thank you all for coming, and I think it was a very productive and interesting conversation, because the future of creatives and how they can make their income is always an important subject. So take care until next time. And don't forget tomorrow, the Curation Corner at 2 p.m. right here in the Ramble.